Do you want me to be honest, or do you want to be politically correct here?
Oh, be honest. I don't give a fuck.
Like, so again, call me a conspiracy theory if you want, but I speak in facts, just to be fair. This is not a health pandemic. This is a war on consciousness.
Yeah.
And if you understand that this is a war on consciousness, and you step out of the fear bubble that has been created, you can then make logical, strategic decisions.
Yeah.
Okay? So governments have been controlling populations for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Once they realized that they could use different techniques to manipulate, control, they did it. And to be fair, just to talk out of both sides, in large groups, communities, civilizations, there does need to be some control, right? If it's just absolute chaos, then we have a real problem.
Yeah,
right?
then it's gonna be like it would be like Seattle during last year when they had the.
Right. So if you understand that this is a war on consciousness, what I mean by that is your consciousness is your creative thought. It's like where you're present to. It's probably where your intuition lies.
Yeah.
And if you understand that, people's consciousness is being challenged so that they're making decisions based on what they're told to do and not what feels right to them.
Yes.
And since the beginning of this whole thing, I've had hundreds of people literally ask me, what do I think of? And we won't use the term, for the reasons why you mentioned, getting this, getting that. And my answer would always be the same. It's, well, what do you think about it?
Yeah.
Does it feel right to you to believe in all of this, to follow the mandates, to do everything? If that feels truly right to you, then I would support you 100%. The flip side, though, is, as I'm sure you've had a lot of people coming to you looking for validation when they say, well, I followed the mandates, but it didn't feel right to me, or I don't agree with it. Well, to me, now you're out of integrity with yourself.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who, unfortunately, their work was forcing them to
do it,
and they didn't want to. Like, consciously, and I think the other term that could be used correctly is critical thinking. They used their critical thinking abilities. They did their own research, I guess. They made their decision in terms of risk reward.
Yep.
They didn't want to, but they were put in a situation where I have a friend who his wife is pregnant with I think a third kid.
Yeah.
Tons of student loans, doing what he did, getting out there, and he had no choice. Right. It's either that or get fired. And he was asking. We had a little group chat going with a bunch of other guys, and he was asking us, what his opinion. And I basically said, I'm like, dude, you have to do what's best for your family, but you also have to be able to look in the mirror and be happy with the person staring back at you. If you can do that, if you can make that decision and you're happy with the person staring back at you, then all the power to you. I support you 100%. But just make sure that when you make these decisions to do these things, it's something that you actually want to do, not because... Like, I told my wife, and I'm perfectly happy would have to give up everything in our life to not be forced to do anything. I'm perfectly happy to do that. And I'm not just talking about, vaccines and you see how I did that with the vaccine.
I like that.
Not just talking about...
I'm sure they have that as a keyword too.
Yeah.
They do now.
I'm not just talking about vaccines and stuff. I'm talking about anything. I'm sure you've known me for a while. I'm the kind of person who, good luck trying to control me, right? If you tell me what to do, I won't do it. But if you ask me nicely, I'll consider it. I'll think about it and I'll consider it. So, and I'm sure there's thousands and thousands and thousands of other Canadians and Americans and North Americans just like me. Well, but I'm at the point now where I just don't like being told what to do. So I won't do it if you tell me what to do. But if you present the facts and let me make a decision based on myself, there you go. We're good, right? But that's not how things are working out right now.
I would frame something different that you said earlier, this idea of like people don't have a choice. I like to speak that way. I think that we always have a choice. We always have a choice.
Yeah.
It's a matter of what consequences are you willing to deal with the choices that you're going to make.
Yeah.
I've had friends that have been against the whole thing, but again, their jobs were at risk. They were going to get fired or let go. They need that job, or they spent their whole life getting that job, et cetera, and they still wanted to do that job.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, they chose to go in the direction they chose, and this is how I coach them through it. They chose to do it because of the reasons, not they had no choice and they did it, because you will suffer with that thinking for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So it's important that we understand that, like, you're going to choose what you choose, and it's all about empowerment, brother. Like, we've talked about that, you and I, a lot as coaching. It's all about empowerment. So we communicate to our people of how to help them empower themselves to make the decision that makes them powerful, not disempowers them and strips their power away.
Yeah. And I feel like that's pretty much what's going on right now throughout the world and throughout Canada. I don't know if you saw what's happening in Austria this morning. They basically mandated it for the entire population. So if you don't get it by February 1st, you're going to jail.
Right.
Which, I don't have to say that. It's fucking ridiculous. But
I haven't seen that. I don't follow.
Yeah, I follow it because I'm an investor, and I need to know what's going on around the world, because
sure,
it's some of the stuff we invest in. But
enjoyed that clip, please head on over to the link below to my YouTube page and watch the rest of the podcast. If not, you can always find me on Spotify or Apple or Google Play or all of those. We're on everything. Download, listen in your car, get it going. Thank you for the support. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.